Yes, if you look at this, I know you Oakland A's fans that are watching this are going to be disappointed that I'm a fan, and I'm sure that any Boston Red Sox fan that watches this is definitely not going to be a fan. Moneyball stars Brad Pitt as Oakland A's general manager Billy Beane. The season after going far into the playoffs until they lost to the New York Yankees 4-2 in 2001, they're suddenly in a big fiasco in which three of their best players, in fact their best players overall, suddenly go into free agency because of expiring contracts, and because of the team's low payroll, they aren't able to re-sign them. So Beane has to figure out some way in order to get new players in order to fill in the shoes of their players that are leaving. But instead of choosing players off of their looks, personality, or their outside the field lives, he instead takes the unorthodox approach of doing an analytical approach on statistics with the help of Peter, played by Jonah Hill. And what commences his approach that widely changed the game of baseball up until this day, and is even an approach that some teams to this day still use as well. Now, I did play baseball for 7 years, which is one reason why I was really anticipating this movie, even though it definitely does something different to the genre, which I was really anticipating as well, because you don't usually see a baseball movie that focuses on more of like the behind the scenes of the general manager, and it's really interesting because this movie definitely works as a very solid sports dramedy. All the performances are really good, but Brad Pitt is definitely the standout. He gives a very mature, internal, and compelling performance as Billy Beane, as not only does he nail the dramatic scenes so well, but especially with his daughter, which definitely plays out as the heart of the film, but he also has a very strong delivery of the very witty and clever dialogue that he's given. He's such an entertaining figure to watch, and Brad Pitt just perfectly brings him to screen. Jonah Hill also does a commendable job as his assistant, and he also has those very clever and witty lines that he's given from the script to also read off, and he's definitely playing against type, which is definitely kind of like his performance in Cyrus, in which he balanced both drama and comedy. I definitely like what Jonah Hill is doing with his career, in which he's definitely stepping in a new direction, more of the dramedy territory, and this is a 2-for-2 streak he's going, because he delivers yet another good performance in this territory. The script by Steve Zaillian and Aaron Sorkin is very strong, as it delivers a lot of clever and witty humor at times, while also getting you really interested into the statistical world of general managing and recruiting players at the same time. And also it perfectly balances along those dramatic moments as well, which it's a very fine balance between both the very witty comedy and the dramatic scenes at the same time. Edited very well in a lot of scenes, especially most of the montages that you see of baseball in the film. If I really had any complaints for this movie, I'd say that it is just a little too long, in which there's some scenes that could be cut out because the movie's like 2 hours and 13 minutes long, and when it gets towards the end, it does start to drag on a little bit, so that's really my only minor complaint about this movie. I also don't think this movie is going to be a die-hard Oscar contender, even though the trailer makes it look like one. The only thing that I could really see is there being a Dark Horse nomination for Brad Pitt as Best Actor, and who knows, maybe even Jonah Hill could get some good recognition out of this too, because it's definitely one of his best performances as well. This movie works as a very solid and entertaining sports dramedy that definitely takes a new approach within the style and approach of a certain movie like this. So I had a very good time with Moneyball. It's definitely not one of the best movies I've seen this year, but it's still a very solid film, and the fact that I'm a baseball fan really hit to me as well. So I'm going to give Moneyball a very strong 4 out of 5 stars. Definitely check this movie out next week when it releases, especially for Brad Pitt, because this is one of the best performances he's delivered in his career. So I hope you enjoyed my review of Moneyball, but I want to hear from you guys. Tell me if you're a fan of baseball or not, and if you are, do you have a favorite team? Who's your favorite player? Comment below and let me know about that. I have a screen on Thursday night for Real Steel, so you can expect a very early review of that coming up real soon. So in the meantime, I'm Tyler from Kayak Reviews, and I'll see you guys later. But before you leave, check out these reviews in 3, 2, 1.